Hi, I'm Alex, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the 80-20 rule, sometimes known as the Pareto principle, and how to use it as a life hack. I'm going to cover what it is, why you should care, and how using it can change your life for the better. If I skip the economic theory and history and focus on the personal development side, the 80-20 rule is the concept that 20% of your effort will result in 80% of your successful outcomes. In business, it's often cited that 20% of a company's customers can result in 80% of the revenue or profit for a firm. In my experience, there are two parts to this rule. One which is purely interesting, and the other that can change your life. So the interesting bit is, for example, talking about global wealth inequality. Before I tell you why you should care, I want to give you a quick warning not to get bogged down by the numbers, not to get bogged down by the name of the principle, the 80-20 rule. What it isn't saying is that exactly 20% of your efforts will result in 80% of your productive outcomes. What it is saying and is suggesting that a minority of your time and effort spent doing something will result in the majority of the productive outcomes. Don't get too worried about exact percentages, just hold on to that concept. The interesting and nice to know part, which works really well with my warning, for example, is if I talk about global wealth inequality. So with global wealth, about 10% of adults globally own about 85% of global worldwide wealth. I find that interesting, you might find it interesting too, but practically there is very little you can do about it. It's going to make very little difference to your life day to day. Other than the fact that it highlights the Pareto principle really well, it doesn't do you any good, and don't lose too much sleep over it. I honestly have no idea if 10% of the world's adults do actually own 85% of the world's wealth. Don't be wrong, I didn't make it up. I looked on Wikipedia and there was an article that said that Credit Suisse in 2013 said that was true. Now, I was tempted to start to look at that in a lot more detail. But before I tell you why I didn't, let me tell you what my concept was in creating this video, what my goals were, what my aims were. Firstly, I wanted to create a video. I wanted to film a video, write a video, edit it, and publish it. And if you're watching this, then well done me, because I've achieved that outcome. The other thing I wanted to do was inform and entertain you with regard to the 80-20 rule. Now, I'm not in complete control of that. That's up to you as to whether you find this informative or entertaining. If you do, great. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave some comments about your thoughts. Importantly, what my objective wasn't for this video was to talk about wealth inequality. I could have really easily spent hours and hours looking for more detailed research on wealth inequality. I could have spent so much time looking into wealth inequality that I never produced this video in the first place. And I think that for me is the key with the 80-20 rule. And that is the 80% of things that we never see. We don't see how people waste their time with that 80%. And if we can focus on our own time and how not to waste it, like in this example, not spending too much time looking at wealth inequality in a video on the 80-20 rule, we can achieve so much more in our own personal and professional lives. Where you should spend your time and effort focusing is on your own resources, particularly time. 20% of where you spend your time is resulting in 80% of your productive results. And I want to give you a really good example with this video and take that wealth inequality example that I've just talked about. How can understanding the 80-20 rule massively improve your life in 2022 and beyond? It's really simple. Be aware of where you spend your time and what it is that's making a difference to the results in your life. Tie that in with deadlines. If you give yourself a deadline, It really focuses your mind on doing the right things in a limited amount of time, and ideally make yourself accountable to someone else or something so that deadline can't be overrun. And that for me is how to use the 80-20 rule as a life-changing life hack. Focus on the 20% that will change your life, make it better, hold yourself accountable, and have a deadline. And if you do those three things, you can have a better, more productive life moving forward. I hope you found that useful. If you'd like me to do a video on accountability and deadlines, please leave your thoughts in the comments. And until next time, I've been Alex. Thanks for watching. So, it's nice to see you're still here, and I bet if I look at the analytics for the data of who's still watching, it will be about 20% of you, which is really fitting with the topic of this particular video. I just want to give you a little bit of an update on why I filmed this video in particular and my plans for 2022. Earlier in the week, a subscriber of mine, Gary, wrote me a message saying why hadn't I produced a video for a while, what were my plans? And he set me a challenge to produce a video by the end of this week, and he said he'd do the same too on his YouTube channel. Now that's worked really well in keeping with what I've talked about in this video, setting a deadline and holding yourself accountable. I publicly went back and said yes, that's what I was going to achieve, and it really helped me focus on that 80-20 rule, which is why I created this as a video topic. My plans for 2022 are to continue doing this, to get back into filming and producing and uploading one YouTube video a week. If you stick in the comments what you'd like to see, I do love filming, communicating with you, really engaging with this community, and I'm excited to continue to do this in 2022. So going back to accountability and deadlines and putting this out there and putting this online, because I know that will help me achieve my goals in 2022. Thanks for watching this extra bit. I look forward to speaking to you, and I hope you're having a great start to 2022. Until next time, thanks for watching.